Hi all. In continuation with the different data cleaning exercises we are undertaking as a part of this course, today we are going to learn a new tool which goes by the name OpenRefine. OpenRefine was earlier a Google project, which is currently an open source, which is freely downloadable. So this is the landing page of the OpenRefine URL, and depending upon the compatibility of the OS of each of the student systems, the corresponding Windows or the Mac editions of OpenRefine can be downloaded. So once downloaded, it is going to be .exe file, and when it is run, we're going to the OpenRefine tool opens in the browser, similar to that of Jupyter Notebook. Before actually jumping into the usage of this particular tool, I would like to give a brief introduction on the kind of problem we are trying to solve using OpenRefine. Let's assume there are two customers belonging to a bank which goes by the name XYZ Limited. And in one of the, let's assume that both of them have done one transaction each. And the first customer had written the name of the bank as XYZ Limited, whereas the second customer had written the name of the bank as XYZ Ltd. So for a human, we understand that XYZ Limited and XYZ Ltd belong to the same entity. But when I try to do an aggregation from a systems perspective, both of these entries are treated as separate. So this is a real world problem which is faced by the organizations, not just belonging to the financial world, even for any of the e-commerce websites where we sign in, where a user can use multiple names but with the same address. So digitally, there might be many entities, but in the real world, they all belong to the same entity. So OpenRefine helps us solve these kind of problems. Let me quickly jump and show how actually it helps us. So let me choose the input file, which will be shared as a part of this particular exercise to the students. And once I chose that particular file and press next, that particular data gets uploaded. And let me create a new project. So this is the data which we are going to solve. So this particular data has been downloaded from the Department of Justice US. So where we have a separate case ID and a corresponding trade name and the legal name for that particular entry along with the address. So let's see this particular entry of the second and third one, where the legal name has specified as 365 electrician, comma INC. Let's look at the address here. We understand that the address for these two entries are 9227 Haven Avenue, Suite 330. Then followed by the next one is the same address essentially, 9227 Haven Avenue, Suite 330. Just that in the second entry, we have additional characters of dot and comma, whereas in my third entry, we don't have that. So when I try to group by, let's say, on the street address name, these two will be coming as separate entries for me. So this essentially is the problem which OpenRefine helps us solve. So to solve this issue, let's quickly select the small triangular arrow mark here and go to facet and text facet. So what happens is it will just run through all the addresses and gets a frequency of each of these address grounds. So as seen here, for example, the word 1090 rainbow has come twice in the address street. So similarly, multiple entries of the address are coming. For example, for Crocker Street, it came twice. So what we can do is we can kind of group by similar addresses using the clustering methodology, which is inbuilt in OpenRefine. So the moment I press cluster, what happens is it shows me with the default algorithm in the backend, the similar entries which are just separated by some special characters. For example, the same entry which we had 9227 Haven Avenue Suite 330. The same thing with the additional characters like dot and comma are coming into the same cluster. So the user can select or decide to merge them manually, or if we trust the system with his experience, what he can do is he can just cluster everything at one go. Let me quickly show how the clustering can be done at one go. So what I can do is I can select all clusters at one go and merge selected and recluster. So what happens is once this is done, as seen here, earlier for this 365 electrician, we had the have an avenue with special characters, but now it just got replaced. So in this way, where we have different versions of the same entity, we can use the clustering algorithm of the OpenRefine and clean the data and save them. So this is how OpenRefine helps us to kind of uh, resolve the entities. And this exercise is called the entity resolution. Thank you.